We have started this subject called as application development using Python. Okay, application development using Python. I told you that Python is a very diversified, versatile programming language. Why do we call it as versatile? Because you can use it in almost any domain of software development. Web application development, standalone applications, embedded systems, machine learning, image processing. You can use it anywhere. What we are learning as part of this subject is a syntax of the Python programming language. We are learning core Python programming language. We are not going to learn Python for developing web applications. In this subject, we are not going to study how to use Python to develop web applications. That we will not study. Similarly, we are not going to study how to use Python for doing image processing or machine learning. We are not going to do that. In the 7th semester, there is a subject called as machine learning. There you will learn Python, machine learning with Python. We are learning only the core concepts of Python, how to write the programs, how to execute Python programs and all that. Now, I told you first we started with understanding what is the meaning of interactive shell. We understood the different types of data types available in Python. We understood what is a string concatenation, replication, all that we have studied that. And in the last class, we understood we are there in the flow control chapter. We are there in the flow control chapter. Okay, we are somewhere here. Yeah, you can see that we are in this particular part of the syllabus, flow control. In this flow control, we understood what is the meaning of Boolean value. A Boolean value or a Boolean variable is one which will contain a value either true or false. And then we understood what is the comparison operators. Comparison operators or relational operators are less than, greater than, less than, equals to, greater than, equals to, and so on. Then we understood what is the meaning of Boolean operators. Boolean operators all or logical operators are and, or, not. These are Boolean operators or logical operators. And then we saw how to mix them, how to mix Boolean and comparison operators. We saw if true and true is always true, true and false is false, false and true is false, false and false is false. So we learned how to mix them. I told you about logic design, no? So all that. Then the elements of the flow control. Now we have to learn the elements of the flow control. This is what we have started in the last class. The if condition. First, it always starts with the if condition. Okay, it always starts with the if condition. Boolean values, comparison operators. Then you have these binary Boolean operators and all that. We have studied this. Then comes block of code. Yeah, this one thing we studied, very important in Python, that whenever you write a Python program, you should know that there is importance to indentation of code. What is the meaning of indentation of code? When you write a Python program, now I will go to the D drive. In the D drive, you know that we have written a lot of programs here. There's a file called as test. So when I open that file here, okay, when I open that file here, you can see that there is some part of the code which I've written one tab space inside. Okay, you can see that I've written it one tab space inside. Okay, now these spaces are very important. These spaces that are there are very important. They actually represent how much part of the code belongs to the if block, how much part of the code belongs to the else block. Actually, you come to know that by the spaces that is provided here, from here to here, from here to here, from here to here. This is important. And then I told you one more thing, that these spaces, if I provide one tab space for the first line, you have to provide one tab space exactly for the second line also, one tab space for the third line also, and so on for all the lines which belong to the if block. It is not always necessary. One more thing, let me tell you, this I did not tell you last week because I did not want to confuse you people, but let us say I remove that space. I remove that space. Okay, I remove this space, I remove this space. Now these lines of code here to here, they are no more part of the if block, they belong to the main program. Now I told you that if you want them to belong to the if block, you have to provide one tab space inside. One tab space I will not give, I will give only two spaces. 1, 2. I give only two spaces. If I give two spaces, then it is important and it is necessary, it is compulsory for me to give two spaces to the next line also. If you want the third line also to belong to the if block, you have to give two spaces. Similarly, now the else block cannot have one tab space. This also should have two spaces. Second line also should have two spaces. Third line also should have two spaces. So what do you learn here? You learned that when you want to indent the code, it is not always compulsory that you have to give one tab space. You can provide any tab space. Even one single space is sufficient. But if you give one single space for the first line, you have to give one single space to the second line also, one single space to the third line also, and so on. For the else block also, you have to give one space. But here for this example, I have given two spaces. I've given two spaces for the first line of if, two spaces. So it is not compulsory that you have to give one tab space. Any number of spaces you can give, even 10 spaces you can give, no problem. Like this, see here, 2 I have given, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can even give 10 spaces, but all the lines should have 10 spaces. Like this. You understood? You can give any number of spaces here, but how many spaces you give to the first line of the if block, you have to give the same. Okay, so how many spaces you give to the first line, those many spaces you have to give to the second line, and so on. Okay, so what I will do here is I will give only two spaces. Okay, what I've done is I have given two spaces here. I save this program. Okay, file, I save the program. You can see that what is x? X is equals to 10,000. If x is less than 1000, is it less than 1000? No, it is not less than 1000. It is more than 1000. So this block will not get executed because this condition is false. You know that in if the condition is false, else block will get executed. If the condition is true, if block will get executed. Is x less than 1000? No, it is not. So the else block will get executed and it will say x is bigger than 1000. X is equals to x minus 200. So it will subtract 200 from 10,000 and then it will print the value of x. So it will display 9,800. Okay, this is what it should display, 9,800. And then finally it should display hello and then it should stop the program. Okay, I will save this file. I'll save this. I go to the command prompt. I go to the command prompt. In the command prompt, I go to the D drive, and then here I execute the program. Python test2.py. This is how we execute the program. So I click on the enter button, and then you can see x is bigger than 1000. X is bigger than 1000. Then it displays the value of x by subtracting 200, because from x I subtracted 200, and then I displayed the value of x. So it displayed 9,800, and then it displayed hello. It displayed hello, and then it stopped the program. Program worked correctly, no problem. What I will do is deliberately I will make a mistake. What I will do is in the second line of if, I will put one extra space. What I did was first line is after two spaces, second line is after three spaces. So I have put an extra space there, where in the second line of if condition. Now let us see what will happen if I save this program. File, save. What mistake did I do? Intentionally, deliberately, I did a mistake of putting three spaces here in the second line. First line, two spaces. Second line, three spaces I've put. Save the program. And first time you saw that it executed fine. Now let us execute this and see what will happen. So Python test.py. You can see that it displayed me an error. It said that file test2.py has an error on line number 4. And what is that error? It says in this line, x is equals to x plus 200. There is a problem. And then what is the error? You can see indentation error, unexpected indent. It says unexpected indent. Because I put an extra space in the indentation, it says there is an error. So you saw putting one extra space in the block, what will happen? It will give you an error. It will say indentation error. If you put an extra space, or if you don't put a space. Now the first line contains how many spaces? Two spaces. In the second line, I put only one space. Now I put only one space. Previously, I had put three spaces. Now I will put only one space. This also should result in an error. So I go to file, I say save, I go to the command prompt, and then I execute the program. Python test2.py, enter. And then see, again, you saw that it gives an error. What error it is? It is in test2.py file, line number 4. Error is in which line? X is equals to x plus 200. There is an error there, indentation error. Unindent does not match any outer indentation level. So there is a problem. Whether you give an extra space or you give a less space, it will result in an error. So it is important that you have to give the spaces properly. In Python, these spaces that belong to the code block is very, very important. If you give one space, now you will say, sir, what if we give one spaces to all the lines? No problem. No problem. I will give one space to all of them. One space only I have given. You can see there is only one space. Okay, I'll save this file. I'll save this and I go to the command prompt. I clear the screen first. I execute the program. Now you can see the output is correct. It comes because all the lines has got only one space. All the lines has got only one space. No problem. No problem. But all the lines should have the same number of spaces. This is called as indentation of code. In Python, it is very, very important. Why am I emphasizing more on this? Why am I telling you so much about this by showing examples, doing errors intentionally? Is because in Python, the most important syntax of the program is indentation of code. If there is a block of code to be defined in Python, we always write it one tab space inside or some equal number of spaces, one space, two spaces like that. But all the lines should have only those number of spaces. Most important part, I've seen many people actually doing a lot of mistakes here. By mistake, they put an extra space and they execute the program. They see that there is an error in the program, so they will not know what is the program, what is the problem. Okay, so I hope you understand what is the meaning of indentation. So now going back to the syllabus, I told you first of all, I explained to you what is the meaning of a block of code. A block of code always begin with when the indentation increases. Blocks can contain other blocks. Of course, I can have one more if condition here. After this, if there is one space here, after this I can have one more if let us say x is less than 5,000, then I can have one more condition here. So this if block belongs to this if block, like that. So I can write print So if you look at this example, this if-else block belongs to the first if-else block. It belongs to this if-else block because it is inside that. This is called as nested ifs. We will come to this later on. Okay, we will come to that later on. Right now, just remember only, if I have a block of code, I have to write it some spaces here, and then I have to follow the same number of spaces for all the other lines. Okay. Then there are some examples here. Okay, if condition, how to write the if condition, we've seen. If we write some condition, then we write a colon. What is the syntax of writing the if condition? If is a keyword we have to write, followed by the condition, followed by a colon. It should be followed by a colon. Remember, colon should be there. That is the start of the if block. And then after that, whatever lines you have to write it, in the next line you have to write it, in the new line you have to write it, and then you have to provide spaces here. Then if your if block is over, then from the first column, from the first line only write the else block. You cannot write this else block one space inside. Remember, you cannot write this one space inside like this. Okay, I will provide two spaces. Wait. Okay, so I've provided two spaces. So this else block should start from the first line only. This else should start from the first line only. You cannot start it from the second line. Okay, by providing two spaces. No, if you do that, then it will become a part of the if block. Remember, then it becomes an error. Okay, it has to start from the first line only. So else, then you write all the statements of the else block. Since I've written this two spaces inside, whatever I've written in two spaces inside, they all belong to the else block. I have not written this print statement in two spaces inside, which means that this statement is not in the else block. This print statement is not part of this else block. Okay, because it is starting from the first line. I hope this is clear. Okay, so this is how we write the if condition. If condition colon the if block, else colon else block. Now let us say you want to check two conditions. If x is less than 1,000, then do this. If x is less than 1,000, then do this. Else if x is less than 5,000. If it is more than 5,000 and less than 10,000. If let us say you want to check for another condition that x is more than 5,000, more than 1,000 and less than 5,000. First condition is what? We are checking if x is less than 1,000. If that is the case, do this. If x is less than 1,000, do this. Else I want to check one more, that x is more than 1,000 and less than 5,000. How to check the second condition? You can check it here only. You have to write the keyword called as elif. Like in C programming language, you remember you have something called as else if. You have something called as else if. If this condition is true, this part will get executed, else it will go to here. If you want to write one more condition here, then you have to write elif x is greater than 1,000 and x is less than 5,000. Else if we write it, we don't write it else, elseif, we don't write like that. We write only elif, elif. In Python, this is the syntax. Remember to check the cascading if. To check another condition in the else block, we write elif. We write elif, elif. If x is greater than 1,000 and x is less than 5,000, then do this. What I want to do here, I want to do this. X is bigger than 1,000 and less than 5,000. I want to display this message. And then what I want to do to x is I want to add, let us say I want to subtract 500. Something I'm doing, okay? This is only for the, I don't know, there is no logic behind this, but I want to do this. If x is found to be greater than 1,000 and x is found to be less than 5,000, then display a message, first of all, saying that x is bigger than 1,000 and less than 5,000, and then perform this. X is equals to x minus 500. So whatever is the value of x, from that 500 will be removed, reduced, and then I will display the value of x, and then I will display hello. This is what I will do in elif. Then again, let us say if I want to check one more condition. Else if, how would we write it? We write it as elif x is greater than 5,000 and elif x is greater than 5,000 and x is less than 10,000. Then do this. Print. Then we can write x is greater than 5,000 and less than 10,000. Okay, and then what I want to perform is I want to do x is equals to x minus 1,000. X is equals to x minus 1,000. And then I want to yeah, Rupa is asking me a question. She's asking, sir, 5,000 at last line. I didn't get it. What is that, Rupa? You're asking me 5,000 at the last line, something like that is there. Okay, let me finish this program, then I will take your questions. So if else if elif, if it is greater than 5,000 and if it is less than, yeah, there is one more. Okay, so you're saying print 5,000, something like that. Okay, so now if x is greater than 5,000 and less than 10,000, then print x is greater than 5. Here. Okay, sorry, correct. Yeah, I got it, Rupa. You're saying this 5,000 now. Okay, so x is equals to x minus 1,000. Then we print the value of x and then print hello. All that we do, and then finally let us say if this condition is false. If this condition is also false, if this condition is also false, then finally, then print the value of x. Simply print the value of x. That's it. Okay, so it will first check this condition. If this condition is true, it will do this, and then it will directly come out because it will not execute any other conditions. If this condition is found to be true, it will do this. If this condition is false, then it will go and check the second condition. If this condition becomes true, both of this also should be true and this also should be true. Only then this block will get executed because in between there is and. Else, this condition, if it is true, if this condition is true, in between there is and, so both of them should be true. Only then this part will get executed. Finally, if none of the conditions are true, then this else block will get executed. Now let us see what will happen. File, I save the program, and then I want to execute this. So it says 10,000 and hello. Why is it saying 10,000 and hello? Why is it saying 10,000 hello? Because it first checks, is x less than 1,000? No, so this is false. So it goes and checks it. Is x greater than 1,000? Yes, true. X is greater than 1,000, but it is, and is it less than 5,000? No, so this is false. So true and false. So this part also will not get executed. Next, we go to this condition. Is x greater than 5,000? Yes, it is greater than 5,000. And is it less than 10,000? No, it is not less than 10,000. It is equals to 10,000. See on the top here, I've initialized the value of x. It is 10,000. So x is greater than 5,000. This is true, but this particular condition is false. So if this condition is false, then this also will not get executed. And then finally, it will simply display the value of x. It will simply display the value of x, that is 10,000, and then it will display hello. So you can see that it displays me 10,000 and it displays me hello, and it stops the program. Okay, so it displays the value of x, and then it will display hello, and then it will stop the program. So the else part, this part is getting executed. None of these are true, so none of those got executed. This part is getting executed because only this condition is true. And then after that, we display hello and we stop the program. Now what will happen if I make this 1,000? Okay, now the value of x is what? 1,000. So what do you think will be the output of this program? It will check, is x less than 1,000? No, it is equals to 1,000. So this condition is false. Is x greater than 1,000? No, it is not. So this also is false. Is x greater than 5,000? No, it is not. So finally, again, it will execute the else block only. So it will display me 1,000 and then hello. So I save the program, file, save the program, and then I come here and I say Python test2.py, and then you can see that it displayed me 1,000 and then hello, and it stopped the program. Now let me make one more change. I will do this as 1,001. Now the value of x is 1,001. What do you think will be the output of the program? File, save it. So check, is x less than 1,000? No, it is not less than 1,000. It is greater than 1,000 because it is 1,001. Is x greater than 1,000? Yes, it is greater than 1,000. So this is true. And is x less than 5,000? Yes, it is less than 5,000 because it is 1 of 1. So this part will get executed. So it will display me x is bigger than 1,000 and less than 5,000. So it will minus 500 from this, and then it will print the value of x. Let us see. So you can see x is bigger than 1,000 and less than 5,000. So it will display me . So it will display me 501 because it subtracted 500 from it, and then it displayed me hello, and then it stopped the program. So I hope you understood this program. I hope you understood the if-else condition, how to write the colon, how to write the if-else. We don't write it else if, we write it elif. We write it elif. Okay, so you remember the syntax. In the examination, they will ask you a question like this. They will ask you a question. They will ask you, explain conditional statements of Python programming language. So you have to write that the conditional statement in Python is the if-else statement, and you have to write some examples of your own. You have to write your own example, you have to write, and you have to explain that. Okay, so this is about the if-else condition. Now let us go further. Let us not waste much time. Okay, so this is an example of if-else statement, how to write if-else statement. Then comes the elif statement, elif, E-L-I-F, elif statement, which I told you that if you want to check two conditions like that, see here, if name is equals to Alice, L if age is less than 12. So multiple conditions if you want to check like this. Start, check this condition. If it is true, do this. If it is false, check one more condition. Check one more condition. If it is false, check one more condition. If it is true, go there. If it is false, go here, like that. हेलो मैडम. हाँ मैडम. या आई एम फाइन मैडम. मेरा क्लास चल रहा था इसलिए मैं उठाई नहीं फोन आपका. मैडम अभी 10 मिनट से फोन करूँ क्या? आई कॉल यू. नहीं टेस्ट नहीं, ये क्लास है, मेरा क्लास चल रहा है. हाँ, एक 5 मिनट में फोन करता हूँ, 5 मिनट. Okay, sorry. I think there was a little disturbance in the net. Actually, I had received a phone call. That's why all that problem was there. Okay. So what I was explaining to you people is that we have studied the if statement, the else statement, the elif statement, and so on. If you want to check multiple conditions, we use the elif statement. Like this it is. So multiple conditions you can see. If you start the program, you check a condition. If it is true, you do this block of code, and then directly it goes to the last part. If that condition is not true, if it is false, then you check for one more condition. Same thing which we have done in this example here. Okay. In this example here, we have done the same thing. After this, then we have multiple if statements, all that. Then comes the while loop. How to write the while loop? Remember, in flow control, in any programming language, flow control, in flow control statements, we have the if else statement. We have all the looping statements. All the looping statements in C programming language, you must have studied the while loop, the for loop, the repeat until loop. So many loops are there. Okay. In Python also we have the loop statements. Of course, any programming language should have looping statements. In Python also we have the looping statements. While loop is one of them. While loop is definitely one of them. Very, very useful looping statement. How to use this while loop, we will study that today. Okay, we will study how to use the while loop. It's same as that of C programming language. So we will write a program now. This is test 2. I will write a new program. So I'll say new file. Okay, and then I'll say file, save it. I will save it. I will save it in the D drive only. I will call this as test while. Okay, test while.py. The name of the file is test while test underscore while.py. This is the name of my file, and then I start writing my program. First of all, what I do, I write x is equals to 0. I initialize the value of x to 0. What I want to do is I want to use first of all, let me tell you what is the meaning of the while loop. Okay, in any programming language, you have the facility of executing a set of statements, a block of code, multiple number of times. If at all you need to execute a set of statements multiple number of times, then we use the while loop. For example, let us say I say print hello. Let us say I ask you people to write a program to display me a message hello world. Okay, I want you to display the message hello world with some exclamation marks like this. So, or whatever I write in double quotes, we can display as it is. So my program test while.py, I ask you people to write a program to display me the message hello world. So file, save, and then I go to the command prompt here. I want to execute this program, so I type Python test underscore while.py. So when I executed this program, you can see that it displayed me the message hello world, because that is what was there in my program. Okay, now I want to ask you people to write a program to display me this 10 times. I want you to write a program to display me the message hello world 10 times. So what I will do is 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 sorry, my God, 9 and 10. So I ask you to write a program to display me the message hello world 10 times. So I write print hello world like that 10 times I write. Okay, I save the program, file, save it. I go to the command prompt. I want to run the program. First I will clear the screen and then I will execute it. So you can see that it displayed me the program. It displayed me the message hello world 10 times, no problem. Now I ask you people to write a program to display me the message hello world 10,000 times. 10,000 times. Okay, so the simple idea is keep pasting 10,000 times. Do you think this is feasible? Your program becomes extremely big, and this is not feasible at all. 10 times you can do, no problem. 100 times also you can do, maybe 1000 times also you may display print hello world, print hello world, like that you can write. But 10,000 times, do you think it is possible? Your program becomes very, very big. Well, of course it will display, no problem. If I say python test.py, it will, if I say this program, if I go here, if I execute this, you can see that it displayed me those many times. How many times I have it here? But 10,000 times, do you think it is feasible to type like this? No. So here you would want to use a statement of a programming language which will allow to execute a set of statements or a single statement multiple number of times. Which statement you want to execute multiple number of times? You want to execute this statement, print hello world. You want to execute this particular statement, print hello world statement. You want to execute multiple times. How many times? 10,000 times. So write that there. Start a loop. Start a loop. How to start a loop? Like the simple loop. I write x is equals to 0. First, for using the loop, I have to use some logic. I have to use. So first what I do is I declare a variable called as x, and then I put the value 0 into it. And then I use the while loop. So I write while x is less than, 10. First we will try it for 10 number of times. First I will try it for 10 times displaying hello world. While x is less than 10, please do this. Whatever you want to execute multiple number of times, write it in the body of the loop. How to write it in the body of the loop? You write it 1 tab space inside, or 2 spaces inside, or 3 spaces inside, or 1 space inside, because that becomes part of the while loop. So this block of code, whichever is written inside the body of the while loop, inside the while block, like how we had the if block, else block, like that we have the while block here. Write it 1 tab space inside. Write that statement which you want to execute multiple number of times. So print hello world. Okay, so we did this, no problem. So what will happen in the while loop is it will check the condition. As long as the condition is false, yeah, Omkar is telling that we have to increment the value of x. Yes, I'm coming to that. So first, how does the while loop works? While x is less than 10, while it is less than 10, okay, as long as the condition is true, remember, if this condition is true, how does the while loop work is very important. It will keep checking this condition in every iteration of the loop. It keeps checking in every iteration of the loop. Okay, as long as this condition is true, it will execute the body of the while loop. It will execute the body of the while loop. After it executes the body of the while loop, it again goes back and checks the condition. If the condition is true, it will again execute the body of the while loop. And then again it will go back. After executing the body of the while loop, it again goes back and checks the condition. If the condition is true, it will again execute the body of the while loop, and then again it goes back to check the condition. In my body of the loop, there is only one statement. But if there is one more statement, it will even execute both the statements. The entire body of the loop is executed, and then it goes back to check the condition. If the condition is true, it executes the body of the loop, all the statements in the while loop it executes, and then again goes back and checks the condition. The moment the condition becomes false, it will come out of the loop and execute the next statement in the program. Which is the next statement in the program? Let us say this is the next statement in my program. This is starting from the first line, so that's why this is starting from the first line. So this belongs to the main program. Whatever is written 1 tab space inside is the body of the loop. So it will continuously execute this. The moment the value of this condition becomes false, it will come out of the loop. And then if there is any statement in the main program, it will execute that. And then after that, there is nothing. So it will stop the program. Okay. Now see, look at this example. What is x? X is 0. While x is less than 10, ask yourself a question like this. Is x less than 10? What is the value of x here? It is 0. Is x less than 10? Yes, 0 it is, and 0 is definitely less than 10. Is x less than 10? Yes. Yes means this condition is true. Yes means true. No means false. Is x less than 10? Yes. So this is true. If it is true, I told you that the body of the loop will get executed. So it will execute this, it will execute, it will this statement. And what is this statement? It will display print hello world. So it will display print. And then after that, only this much is there in the body of the loop. So it goes back, it goes back. And then again it checks, is X less than 10? Yes, it is still 0. It is still 0. Condition is true. And then again it goes inside the body of the loop and then it displays hello world. Then again, only one statement is there in the loop. So it will go back again and check. So it is continuously going back, checking the value of X, and X is found to be 0. It is always 0 is less than 10. That is true. So it will execute this part, again goes back, checks. So this actually continuously keeps executing, keeps executing. And then if I execute this program, file, save, if I save this program, if I go to and execute this, I clear the screen, I want to execute this. So when I execute this, you can see that here it is continuously displaying the hello world message continuously. You can see actually, it is executing. It is never stopping. It is never stopping. It is continuously executing. It has to stop, but it will not. See, it is not displaying the finish function at all. It is not displaying the finish message at all because it is continuously doing this. It is checking the value of X. It is found to be 0. It is less than 10. It is displaying hello world. Again, it is going back. So I have made the program into an infinite loop. I stop the program now by Control X. It has gone. This will take it in an infinite loop. If you want this to stop after 10, then increment the value of X. What is happening is in every iteration of the loop, you are incrementing the value of X. So first time what happens is the value of X is 0. It will check, is X less than 10? Yes, it is less than 10 because it is 0. It will display hello world. Then I will increment the value of X. X will get incremented by 1. It will become 1. 0 plus 1 is 1 and that will get stored into X. Come back again and check, is X less than 10? Yeah, X is 1. It is definitely less than 10. So it will again display hello world and then again increment the value of X. Now X was 1, it will become 2, then 3 like that. Finally, it will reach a point where it will become 10 and then it will stop. Let us see now. Okay, so I will clear the screen. I will execute this program. Oh, sorry, I did not save this program. I have to save this program. File, save. So I come here, executed. So you can see that now it displayed me only 10 times and then it displayed me finish and then it stopped the program. Okay, so we will continue more on this in the next class. I will stop here today. Okay, if you have any doubts, you please note it down and keep it so that in the next class I can solve the error. Okay, now